Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 3 of Prison Architect. I'm Wiley Soup. I'm here for your entertainment needs, and we're going to have some fun today. Last episode, we got a little bit done. We got some more things put together. We started to work on our handy dandy prison cell over there. Everything I needed? Ah, yes, I got everything I could. If you couldn't tell, I am doing a voiceover because I'm going to see if I can do it very well at all. And if I can, it's fantastic. And if I can't, well, we'll find out. I'll have you guys down in the comment section below to tell me what I'm doing right or not. One thing that I thoroughly enjoy about this game is the fact of how much it requires me to actually think, how much it requires me to actually go through and to be able to perform a lot of menial tasks and yet still be highly enjoyable. That's why this game is so much fun. And of course, if you guys ever watch my Space Engineers series, you'll know that I actually really enjoy building and creating things. So it's one of my favorite things to do in a pastime as a game. In fact, one thing that's really awesome is I used to actually play. I don't know if you guys remember the original SimCity series. I'm not talking like SimCity 2000, but I'm talking SimCity back on the SNES. And I love that game. I love the hell out of that game. I used to play it all the time as a kid. I used to take my brother's Super Nintendo, and he hated it when I would take his Super Nintendo. And I used to put it in my room because we had an old analog TV in my room, and we used to play video games in my room, so that way mom and dad could watch stuff on TV in the family room or living room or wherever they were. And so I took it and I put it in my room because it was in the family room. And I started playing SimCity. And I mean, I would spend hours on that game. But one thing that made it so fun was the city management style. So that's kind of where I got the huge desire to play video games like this, is from that early sense where I would come home and I mean, to show you how young I was probably in first or second grade. And one of my favorite things that I love to do is I love to try to build a city, which I will admit I was not good at. I was actually quite terrible at building any sort of city. And but I could build them. I would understand and learn as I went along, and I would actually grab some little basics of the game and such. And then I would love to do disasters. And then when SimCity 2000 came out, man, that game was awesome. Like, I got it on PlayStation, the original PlayStation, Sony PlayStation, and I love that game. That game was so enjoyable because you could go around and you could just do so much fun stuff. Oh, it's funny. Right here, what happened is I actually, for some odd reason, the game glitched and I couldn't place a pipe there, and so I had to move it around. So I don't know, it's a void zone now. Anyways, one thing I really enjoyed about SimCity 2000 was the diversity of it. So, as time went along, and as I played video games, and then I, graduated high school, I started seeing building and crafting and engineering games as kind of my genre, the genre that I enjoyed playing. Now, don't get me wrong, I played the living crap out of Grand Theft Auto, as well as Gran Turismo. I love Gran Turismo, mainly because Gran Turismo is difficult because it doesn't only require that you need to have an understanding of vehicles. It requires that you need to understand how to drive them as well. So one thing that I found absolutely enjoyable about the building games, however, is because it tested my creativity. And then after high school, I started working full time, and I didn't have time for video games anymore, which sucked. And then after that, I ended up going and uh, leaving the country, not leaving the country, leaving my hometown. And sorry, I was getting distracted. That's my fault. My fault. Um, I ended up leaving my hometown and kind of went and did some interesting things of service. I decided I was going to go and volunteer, um, and try to just do some good for the better man, and or for the other man, and uh, it worked out. It was pretty great. Um, Here I realized that I thought I had made a mistake, and then I realized, nope, I was right the first time. It wasn't really an issue. I was just putting him in there wrong. Um, and so I left, and I was gone for 2 years, and in that 2 years, a lot of cool video games came out. Namely, Minecraft came out. I saw it. I saw a lot of people playing it, but I didn't know what it was. And I tell you, it's probably a good thing that I wasn't living at home. I was out and abroad, and I was trying to make a difference in the world as much as I could. And damn, I gotta tell you, if I had that game though, back when it came out, I would have so many cool things would have happened. Right here, I'm putting it in a laundry room because laundry is extremely important in this game. Something that I truly enjoy doing, mainly because it requires a lot of, I don't know, laundry in this game is so cool. I'm so glad they actually put it in because it's so fun. It's so, I don't know. I enjoy watching them go out, collect the dirty laundry, put it in there. I'm weird like that. I enjoy kind of little mini games like that. Like I said, I'm weird. Anyways, back to a little bit more about my history, and you guys might be like, "Oh, shut up," and just let me watch the game. Um, well, in all honesty, when I was gone, I came back and I made the decision that I was going to build a home computer. And so I did. I started working full time again at home. I moved back in with my parents after that 2 years, mainly because things were just kind of not working out for the best for me personally. And so I went and I worked full time, started earning some money, put some money away so I could go live on my own and get married. And I ended up going and getting a job, earned quite a substantial amount of cash, put it away, built myself my first computer. Spent about $600 on it, and it was pretty all right. I mean, it wasn't the greatest. I mean, it was an AMD processor, and the graphics card was crap. But at the same time, what I spent the $600 on was like my monitor. That actually was almost over half of what I spent to build a computer with. But I wanted a good monitor, and I figured, as time goes on and as I make more money and I put more money aside, I could build a better computer later. And that's what I did. Is actually the computer that I am running now, which is the one that you were seeing me play video games on and record on, is the second computer I built. It was the one that I had saved up and put money aside for. Um, and I decided that I was just going to scrap the previous build completely, and that I was going to work on building myself a brand new one from the ground up, which is exactly what I did with this one. And I'm very satisfied. And the cool thing is when I came home and I saw that there was all of these different video games, I was like, I'm going to play these, and I did, and I enjoyed it. And there was another thing that ended up happening that was really interesting for me personally, was I got home and I saw that there was these YouTubers that would play video games, and people would watch them. Like, people would actually watch them play video games. That was crazy to me. Like, I couldn't even understand. And I started watching them, and namely the one I watched. And I didn't watch PewDiePie. A lot of people watch PewDiePie. I watched Tobuscus because Tobuscus to me was hilarious. Um, and I was just kind of blown away with how good this was, like how awesome it was. And so I made the decision that when I built my second computer, because I didn't have my second computer until actually just the beginning of this year, because I finally had gotten enough money to put aside to do it, I decided that I would do the same. And so that's where Space Engineers came along, where I, decided that I would start with Space Engineers and just play some of the games that I truly enjoyed. Mainly because when it comes to new video games, I don't do too well, and I hope that people enjoy watching me play video games because I feel I'm pretty okay with them. I try to make them entertaining, And me just sitting here telling stories probably isn't the best way for people to watch video games. You probably are like, well, tell me something funny, tell me a joke. And in all honesty, I'm not very good at coming up with jokes on the spot. I mean, it's weird because like when I'm hanging out with my friends and I'm talking to somebody else, I can come up with jokes like literally right then and there. But that's neither here nor there. Um, but that's one thing I really enjoy about this channel is I enjoy that. Oh, I get to sit down and do some recordings, and I get to go back and look at some of the previous footage, even though I hate, and I mean hate listening to my voice, mainly because it just sounds awful. And I get to go and do some editing and just slap it onto YouTube and call it good. Now, is that the best way to do it? Probably not. Are there better ways to do it? Absolutely. And to be honest, my video editing skills are basically what I remember from when I was in high school, which, in case you guys are trying to figure out when I graduated in 2009. So that was quite a while ago. I mean, there's a lot of you that might be watching this channel be like, yeah, that's not even like even a little bit ago. But I graduated in 2009, and it's now 2016. That's 7 years, and I'm using what I remember from 2008 and 9, because that was the year that I learned how to video edit it, and trying to remember how to make things work. Try to remember how to make things come together, to clip things, to do any sort of editing at all. And it's been kind of a little bit of struggle, mainly because a lot of things have changed in 7 years. And so for that, I digress, and also apologize for the video quality that my videos have. And that is something that I hope you guys can forgive me about. But more on this game. One thing I love about Prison Architect is the fact that it has a real sense of, I don't know, maybe not urgency, but it makes it more entertaining because the game demands that you do things in a certain way, but also gives you the freedom of playing around with anything. And you can build your own prison in any shape or form. And I know you're probably like, well, yeah, I knew that, but that's what I love about it. I love this game. I love the fact that it gives me the freedom to build in a certain way, and to, if I want to be a perfectionist crazy person, which sometimes I am when I build things, I'm kind of a perfectionist crazy person. I like things to be kind of uniform and similar to each other, and that's what it gives me the freedom to do. And if it's like, you know what, if you want to build a little piece of the prison over here on the right side, and you want your prison actual cells on the left side, and if you're just going to leave everything in the middle with nothing, and you want to force your prisoners to track all the way across the map, go for it. I mean, that's awesome. That's so cool. And that's one thing that I love about video games in general, is the fact of freedom of doing things that I, in real life, could not do. And that is the pinnacle of video games. Video games give me the opportunity to be an experience and to enjoy life without life, if that makes any sense. Very many people can assimilate it to also be what an idiot. Can also assimilate it to, like reading a book, or watching a movie, or going to a play, or going to a symphony and watching a concert at a symphony. It's the same exact experience, except for, to me, so much more. Because not only am I experiencing the media or the entertainment, I am the media and the entertainment. That's what's so cool to me, is it's right there, real life, in front of me. Prime example is when I was a kid, there used to be this little toy that my grandmother had. And it had this steering wheel, and I'm trying to think of the name, so that's why I'm describing it to y'all. And if you guys have seen it, you'll probably recognize as I describe it. But it had this little steering wheel, and on the steering wheel was this little, or behind the steering wheel was this little window that had a roll of film, not film, but like pictures of a road and like trees on the sides and such. It was 2D, so it wasn't 3D or anything like that. And when you turn the steering wheel, it would move this little plastic car so you could like get out of the way of stuff and such. And I remember as a kid when I would play with that, I played with it and I did enjoy it. But I used to think to myself, this isn't really driving. And which a lot of people would interpret today as, well, you didn't have a lot of imagination. Which, you know what, you're probably right. I probably didn't have a lot of imagination. But I enjoyed it. It was fun, and I just thought there's a better way to do this, and there was. And all of a sudden, within okay, so if I was 6 when I thought that, which I think I was, I'm not sure. If I was 6 when I thought that, then Grand Theft Auto just came out, and Grand Theft Auto was awesome. But I didn't play it until I was like 14. And that is when the ESRB standards for ratings actually hadn't really been standardized. And so I went out and I bought it, and I played that game on my original PlayStation, and it was great. I love that game. That game was awesome. And what was so awesome to me is how I got to become what I wanted to become. Like I got to enjoy certain things. And then, once my family got a computer for the first time, which was in 1998, we got an old Windows. We had what was it? I can't remember what it was. Was it a Dell or was it a? I always remember them because they had the. No, it was a Dell. It was an old Windows 98, and it was a Dell, and it had some cool games that came along with it. But one of the things that was really cool about it is it had SimCity 2000, and it was just barely powerful enough to play SimCity 3000. And then when my parents and I found out that PC gaming freaking awesome. Not that PlayStation games weren't very much fun. They were great, but the diversity of the PC games was amazing. And we got ourselves a Windows XP back in 2002, and I that's when I started playing video games for real. I started playing um, SimCity, SimCopter. I played Streets of SimCity. I played. I played the hell out of Streets of SimCity. In fact, so much so that I went on iTunes and I purchased the original soundtrack because I actually missed some of the really fun music and such that game gave us in the original. And so from that point, I also started playing other games like tycoons, like Theme Park Tycoon. I played Roller Coaster Tycoon. Oh, I played the hell out of Roller Coaster Tycoon. See, these are games that, Streets of SimCity gave me the opportunity to drive a car with weapons. I can't do that in real life. If I have a car with weapons and I'm driving around and I'm shooting shit up, I'm going to get arrested. And most likely going to be killed because they're probably the police officers and or the military are going to be like, you know what? We're not taking any chances. Shoot his ass. And I couldn't do it. But Streets of SimCity gave me the opportunity to do it. SimCopter gave me the opportunity to fly a helicopter. Not only fly a helicopter, but to fly a helicopter with a purpose. To go and help capture robbers. To go and put out fires. To go rescue people. To go actually do life flights. Where I could deliver people from accidents and take them to the hospital and save their lives. I can't do that in real life. And if I wanted to, it takes at least 2 years of training, and then I still can't fly. I have to sit around, and I'm sitting there, and people are like, all right, you need to sit as the co-pilot and learn. Damn it, I've already taken the classes. Why would I want to sit and watch you when I've already learned how to do it? Well, because you need experience. And that is where video games come in. I don't have to have an experience. I could jump into a helicopter, wreck shit up, kill myself, and start all over. That's the beauty of it. That is the reason why video games are awesome. And they give children, and I'm not trying to say this weird, but they give children dreams. And they give them a peek of what they would love to do. They give them the opportunity to see, you know what? In the future, I want to be a police officer. And that child can go out, get himself a video game like, what is it? Why can I not remember the name of it? It was something. I have it over in my stack of video games. True Crime, that's it. True Crime, Streets of New York or Streets of LA, and the kid goes out and he plays as a cop. And he's like, yeah, I like this. I want to be a cop. Or he's like, you know what? This isn't really for me. And then he's like, maybe I want to become a doctor. And he could go to the deep end and he could totally play, Theme Hospital, which is a terrible idea because that is definitely absolutely nothing right or anything correct in that game about anything to do with being a doctor. But he can play it and he's like, you know what? I like helping people. I like doing that. I'm willing to put in the dedication to actually learn and to be able to go and actually spend 11 years of my life in school, sink my ass into debt, so that way I can help people and someday hopefully become rich. It gives you that opportunity. Streets of Sim City or Sim City gives me the opportunity to be like, do I want to be a mayor someday? Hell no. Hell no, I don't want to be a mayor someday. I want to go out and I want to actually, my dream job, I want to be a pilot. So guess what? I started playing games that involved helicopters, aircraft. Ace Combat 4 was the first flight simulator I ever played, and it was the first good one I ever played. Ace Combat 4 Shattered Skies was amazing to me, and that was when I made the decision, I'm going to be a pilot, and that's what I did. And so, that's the thing that I'm talking about. Video games are awesome. They give us the opportunity to look into our lives and say, you know what? What do I want to do with my life? And if you haven't thought that while playing a video game, maybe you should. Because I promise you, it'll change maybe the way you look at it. It's done it for me. When I play Call of Duty, which I've only played very little of Call of Duty, I haven't played a lot of it, or when I play Battlefield or any sort of those games, I now know if I get drafted, I'm going to go register, and then I'm going to become a tank mechanic, and I'm going to be sitting back at base hoping and praying that my ass doesn't get bombed. Because I don't want to be out in the battlefield getting my ass shot to hell just because some politician gave another politician the finger. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't care. I love my country. I believe in freedom. I believe in the American way. And I believe that, you know what? If it comes down to it and my body is needed to go down and to help fight for freedom, I will do it. But I will do it the way that I hope I can do it, which is to help those that are brave enough, because I'm not, I admit it, I'm a coward, that are brave enough to go out and I'll be like, you know what? Your tank, not doing so hot. I'll help it fix it for you. And then I fix it, they go out, whip ass, come back, and be like, hey, I broke this. I'll be like, all right, I fixed it. Go back out, whoop ass again. That's great for me. I love it. I don't want to do that. I learned that from Battlefield 4. I learned that from Battlefield 2. Actually, Battlefield 2 was the first one I played. I learned that from Battlefield 2. I was like, nope, I'm good. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I registered for the draft because it's required by law, but I don't want to do it. And so, I digress. That's what I say. And I'm sorry. You guys are probably like, wow, this episode started a lot differently. This episode was so mellow and diverse. This happens, by the way. This happens when I am able to sit and just talk, because when I'm playing a video game, my thoughts are running. I can't multitask very well. I admit it. I throw it out there, just saying. My multitasking abilities are only also limited. And when it comes to a video game, I'm usually paying attention to the video game. And when I'm talking, I'm usually focusing on the content that I'm talking about. Except for when I can do the talking afterwards. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoy and say, you know what? I like this. I think it's cool. I think he does some good things when he does a voiceover. And if that's the case, I want to know. I want you guys to be like, I like your voiceovers. I like how you can play a video game, and then while I'm watching you play a video game, you rant and rave about politics, or about video games, or about jobs, or about anything that you talk about. And guess what? If you like it, I'm going to do it more often, because damn it, this was awesome. I love doing this. And one other thing that I want to talk about. What in the hell is up with our political elections right now? Why in the hell is this happening? I'm just going to throw it out there. Bullshit. Just throwing it out there. Bullshit. I'm done. I'm done. That's all I said. That's all I need to say. I'm good. I'm just throwing it out there. In case anybody's wondering, if you're like, if I'm going to vote for Trump, vote for Hillary, I'm not voting for either of them. I'm going to vote third party. And that third party is none of your business. So that's what I'm going to do. But that's one thing that I find very interesting is this channel gives me the opportunity to talk. And not just to talk to anybody, but to you. To a person that might care. That might be like, you know what? I like video games. You know what? I like this video game. I'm going to watch it. And then you hear me talk, and I get to explain my passion to you. I get to explain awesome things to you. And in hopes that you enjoy it. And if you do, that's great. That's fantastic for me. And I'm excited for it. That's one thing that I truly enjoy about being a YouTuber. Am I a YouTuber? Probably not. I probably don't have the skills to be a YouTuber. I probably am just throwing videos online that people are just be like, yeah, it's okay. And then they just watch it and then they walk away and never share anything with their friends. Which, that's fine. I do this because I enjoy this, and to me, it's an excuse. It's an excuse so that way I don't feel bad about playing video games. And that's fine. I mean, in all honesty, I am extremely grateful that I have a wife who's like, you know what? You can play video games anytime you want. And then I have to make the decision, be like, okay, I guess I'll play video games. And then I'll go out and work, do things. And then I made the decision, okay, if I'm going to play video games, then I am actually going to go and play video games right. I'm going to play video games with a purpose where I get to show my video games to other people. And hopefully they enjoy it. And hopefully they have fun with them. Because I do. I enjoy it. I enjoy video games. I love video games. Video games changed my life. One thing about my life is I have 3 siblings. If you want to get down to the nitty-gritty, I actually technically have 4, but one of them passed away. It's sad, long story, but it happens. Life happens. I have 3 siblings. By the time I came around, my next of kin was almost 6 years old. And so there's quite a gap. By the time I became a teenager, because of certain circumstances, I lived in my house with my parents alone. So I was technically raised as an only child. And it sucks. Because there's a lot of people who are like, oh, being an only child, you know, you get spoiled and you get to have all these things and such. And that's true. You know what? As a kid, I got some pretty awesome, sweet things. Like, I got to play on a computer. None of my other siblings got the opportunity to do that. But I did. And that is one thing that I am very, very grateful for, is the fact that, yeah, I grew up alone. I didn't have a lot of other people around with me. But at least I had video games. They were my friends. I had friends at school, but video games were my friends. Anyways, y'all, I really appreciate you coming out here. And I don't know why I said y'all. I'm not even in the South. I wasn't even born in the South. I don't even want to need the South. Anyways, thank you so much for coming out and watching. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button down below. It helps me out substantially. If you guys have any comments, please comment down below. I really would appreciate it. And last but not least, if you guys enjoy any of this, please subscribe. And I guess I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you guys. You guys have a good one. Bye.